everyone. I hope that all of you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Welcome to my video for today. I'm going to be planning for my March 2022 bullet journal spreads, and for the month of March I decided I'm going to do one of my favorite shows, which is Bojack Horseman. So I hope that you're going to enjoy, and I hope you'll just have fun watching me create as well. So let's get started. So over here I'm just trying to get measurements for the cover page, because for the cover page I wanted to paint that scene from season 6, the final episode, where BoJack and Diane are sitting on the rooftop and there's just that silence after Diane reveals that it's the last time they're going to be talking. So I have been planning on doing this theme from January, but I didn't know if I could do it because I am not yet fully integrated into like characters. So yeah, I wasn't sure, but then when March came around I was like, let me just give it a try, because I had been practicing different things other than the patterns that I normally do. So I've been doing things outside of my niche. So over here I'm just taking measurements, and I'm doing 2 measurements, one where the paper cutter will cut and the other one where the masking tape will go, so that the paint doesn't go off the edges. So that's why there's like 2 lines on each side of the paper. The reason why I thought this was a good start was because I liked the quote that Diane says, where she's like, sometimes life is but then you keep living. I really loved that quote because I don't think anything brings out the reality of life like that quote. Like, yeah, there's so many quotes about life, but I feel like that one really resonated with me, because it's like, yeah, bad things happen sometimes, but you just like accept it, and you pick yourself up and then you move on. Or just like yeah, like you just have to keep moving, you have to keep living. This is my interpretation, by the way. I really love this show because of the lessons you can learn from it, just so many things you can learn from it. So I never expected a show about a talking horse to have such a great impact on my life. So yeah, now I just like wanted to celebrate that show. I tried rewatching it before March came around, but I was too late. March came around, but I'm still on season 1 rewatching it again. So there's some places I can't quite remember, because the last time I watched this show was like, I think 2 years ago. Yeah, or was it 2020? When did it end? It's the last time I watched it, but I constantly keep rewatching season 6, like the last 2 episodes, just for comfort. So over here right now, I'm drawing Diane. I drew her in pencil, but then when it came to Bojack, I honestly tried. I tried drawing this horse freehand. I just couldn't. So in the end, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna transfer his face, because I really tried. It just wasn't working out, so I just transferred him onto the paper, because I was like, I can't spend like so much time on this one character and I have also the characters to draw. So I just decided to transfer him so that it can look the same. And then I was like, why didn't I even think about this sooner, even for Diane? Because I feel like for Diane, even if I did draw her freehand, I feel like there's some features which I may have gotten wrong. Like, I couldn't draw one eye the same. Like, I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't. And then also her hands. So this is what I mean when I say I'm not yet fully integrated into drawing like things like characters or just sceneries, because as an artist, a beginner artist, my niche is mostly patterns, and if you are like to even go through my social media, that's what you'll see more of. So this is something completely like new to me, like not new, but like it's just something I'm trying to explore. I think I can say that. I don't know how to, I never know how to explain myself. I just mixed some paints here. I was looking for a darker blue for the background, but let me tell you guys, painting Diane's hair and her dress was so hard, especially her dress, because I couldn't find that blue. And blue is like a primary color. Yeah, that means I can't mix any colors to get it, but there's just different shades of blue, you know. I could not find the blue for her dress. I really tried making it with my acrylic paints, because even her hair is painted with like acrylic paints, or was it watercolor? I can't even remember. No, oh yeah, her hair is also watercolor, but her hair and the dress, those are watercolor. And I was really trying to find the specific blue for her dress. I couldn't. I tried mixing. I just couldn't. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm mixing the wrong things, or I don't know. Maybe I was just mixing the wrong colors, but I couldn't find that specific shade of blue, so I had to use like my blue from my watercolor. So now I'm just also painting her face. Bojack was a bit easier to paint, surprisingly. I thought Bojack would be harder to paint, but I got the brown right. And then the roof was also easier to paint because I already know how to get orange. I just like added the orange, the browns on the rooftop, and then I was done with that. Then now it's just painting the sky, making it much darker than the first layer, just adding different layers until I got the desirable dark blue I wanted for the sky. Because I was also using the reference picture and I was trying to make sure I get everything right. And I feel like I almost did. I outlined them with Fineliners. I was actually impressed with it, considering it was my first time to draw these characters. And then also mixing paints, using paints like this. It was exciting, you know, it was really exciting. So yeah, I was impressed by how they came out. I did not expect that. I honestly didn't. In fact, when I was doing this painting, I thought I would flip at it so bad that I'd have to change my entire theme, but that did not happen, and I'm so happy that didn't happen. So when I was done, I was looking at them and I'm like, it looks like them, like similar to them, but like in a different, how can I put it? It's like if the show was done with like watercolor paints, that this is how they look. I don't know, it looks similar to them, so I guess I'll just leave it like that. I also tore the paper by mistake when I was moving the tape, but I just fixed it with white paint, and then I also put masking tape at the back so that it could just fill up that part that got torn. afterwards I cut it up, and then we have our picture here for the cover page. So now all that's left is just to glue it onto the page, and then we will be done with that. But then before getting done with that, I wanted to add the quote at the bottom. I felt like I wanted it to be, what's the word? I wanted to say I wanted it to be journal-y So what I did was I just painted a paper black and then tore that paper, because I wanted that torn paper effect, and then stick it at the bottom and write down the quote that Diane said. Sometimes life is and then you keep living. I wanted to do that because I was going to write it just down there, but then I thought this would be more interesting so that it could just have this journal-y effect. So I did that with a white gel pen and then just stuck the paper down there, and it was done. I loved how it came out. I was impressed with it. And yeah, that's it for the cover page actually. After painting BoJack and Diane and everything else afterwards just looked simple, and suddenly this entire thing didn't look. So now we are on my cover page and monthly calendar. This one I just decided to do them all on one page, the monthly calendar and the monthly preview, because initially when I was doing this thing, even when I was painting BoJack and Diane, I honestly didn't know what I was going to do for the other spreads. I knew what I was going to do for the cover page and the quote. I just didn't know what I was going to do for the other spreads. So I decided I'm going to just put them together in one page. So for this page, I just put the monthly calendar and the monthly preview page together. And for this page, I have Todd here and his famous quote about he doesn't know if he can handle anything, and that's what makes his life so exciting. And honestly, Todd was an interesting character because he just made the show quite fun for me when I was watching. I don't want to be best friends with Todd. He looks like he'd be such an amazing friend. Todd is on that page, and I felt like that quote of his saying, "I never know if I can handle anything, that's what makes my life so exciting," was fit for the monthly preview, because honestly, we never really know what's coming in the new month ahead when you think about it. Also, my monthly calendar is so small, but that's because I was like, there's no point of having it on a huge page and then I might not even use it as much. So instead, what I did was just make it small, then have a key. And so this key had different colors, in my let's say I have a meetup, an appointment, that's what I'll put in that key. And then when it's on that specific date, I will just put a dot with that specific color, whether it's a meetup or an appointment, and then maybe match it up with my Google Calendar. I feel like that's much easier compared to just having it on one page and I might not even use it that much. So yeah, and that's it. So my next spread are my trackers, and these are my mood trackers and habit trackers. And for these ones, I just wrote trackers up there. For this one, I started with my mood tracker, and for here, I just have Cuddly Whiskers because I also liked his quote about how long it takes to realize how miserable you are and how much longer it takes to realize it doesn't have to be that way. I felt like that will be fitting for the mood. And then now I have my simple mood tracker here. It's just a circle and then the numbers are on each section. I sectioned each circle. They're 10 degrees each from the center. I think that's it. Then I had the quote stuck down there, written by said by Cuddly Whiskers, and that was just it for the page. I also liked painting Cuddly Whiskers. It was really fun because he was a bright color, I can say that. Yeah, next we move on to the habit tracker, and here I have this Jogging Baboon. That's what the character is called. I don't think they ever tell us his name. He's just this jogging baboon who comes to BoJack and tells him it gets easier every day. but you have to do it every day. And he was telling him that after Bojack was wondering how the hell people jog every day when he had just started jogging. So, big up to the jogging baboon in Bojack, because he was right. I don't think this only applies to jogging. I think it just applies to everything in life. You have to do it every day if you want to get better at it, because doing it every day makes it better or easier. Yeah, that's what he said. What did he say? Yeah, I think that's what he said. I wrote it down there. When I'm doing this voiceover right now, it's it's almost 1 a.m. and I'm exhausted, and I would love to do a voiceover during the day, but there's so much noise where I live, so I just have to do it at night when it's quiet, and especially at 1 a.m. So the only thing that's making noise right now is just the dog barking outside in the church. That's it. So yeah, that's it for my habit tracker. But that's the quote over there. I wrote it down on that paper. It says every day it gets easier, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part, but it does get easier. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, and then I wrote down there jogging baboon. That's it for my mood and habit trackers. Also, I reduced my habits to 4 things, because I keep burdening myself with things. But now let me just start with these 4. Let's see how March is going to go, and then now April, maybe we can add 1 or 2 habits. But that's it for my trackers. Those 2 people, I feel like the quotes they said were fitting for each tracker, and I hope you feel the same way about them too. So now we can move on to the next thing. Okay, so my next page is my gratitude log. This has easily become one of the best things I've ever gotten into as a human being, as an adult, because just sitting down every day, or not every day, most of the days of the week, writing down what you're grateful for really changes your life a lot, because then you realize that you can be so happy even on sometimes during the bad days, because of the little things. Sometimes even big things don't happen to me. I'm normally also just happy my mom came back home from work safely, things like that. So yeah, I just decided to do Diane again. So Diane is appearing for the second time, and yeah, she still has her long hair, and this was back in season 1, where she goes back to her hometown and she takes Bojack with her, and her brothers are really making fun of her, and they remind her of this time when they hired a homeless guy to be her prom date, I think he was called Pete, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, and then they made fun of her so badly, she just went to, have her alone time. Then Bojack found her, and then gave her a note from Pete, in quotes, and it was him who wrote it actually. But the part which really caught my attention the most was the part where he writes to Diane. He's like, even if no one appreciates you, it's important you don't stop being good. And I think that's a really important, how can I put it? What is this thing called? Character. Can I call it a character? I don't know. I've forgotten the word to call it, but I think it's a very important thing to carry yourself with, not to be changed by people's actions towards you. You just continue being a good person. And yeah, I loved that note because of that. So that's the quote for this gratitude log. I also felt like it was fitting for the gratitude log. I don't know why, but I felt like it was really fitting for it. So I just put it here with Diane. I wrote down it's Diane who said it, because she's the one who literally read it out loud, but it was originally written by Bojack on that note. So I don't know. I really didn't know who to credit it to, but I credited it. Gosh, why can't I say words? I give credits to Dan because she's the one who spoke it out loud, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I hope that if there's anything you'll carry from this show is this quote, like, don't stop being good, even if no one appreciates you. That's it for that page. It's looking simple, but I can't wait to fill it in with the things I'm grateful for this month. And now we can move on to the next thing. Okay, next we are on to the last spread of the video, and this is that scene for Bojack and Sara Lynn where they are looking at this. I don't know where they went. Like I said, I can't remember some scenes from this series because I'm rewatching it. I'm still in the middle of rewatching it, but where they're together when Sara Lynn dies, and they're like in this auditorium. Can I call it I don't know what to call it, but they're learning about space. And Bojack tells Sara Lynn, like, the only thing that matters right now is this moment that we're sharing together. But I gave this a twist. I decided to create the galaxy differently. Like, I made it more purple and bluish. As compared to in the show, it's a bit, I don't even know what color the show had it in, but it was definitely not the blues and the purple. So this is the blues and the purple is just what I added because I wanted it to be a bit more blue and purple, because I genuinely don't know how to create the colors the show had put it in originally. So that's it for this spread. That's the artwork for the spread. The only thing that matters is this moment that we're sharing. Yeah, I think that's the code. But okay, I'm looking at it right now and it's much longer, but you can read it there. That's it. So yeah, then I had like my boxes for each day of the week where I write my tasks, which I'll be doing on each of those days. Then I added my calendar at the top, and then on the sides, the right sides, I have my goals, because I set weekly goals now, my achievement section, and then my reminders. I think setting it this way was much easier as compared to having monthly goals. And then achievements. Every week I celebrate something I've done, which I think is pretty cool because sometimes you could be so hard on yourself, and then you feel like you've not done something, but you look back at your achievements and when you write them down, you see, oh wow, I actually did something. So yeah, well, that's it for my spreads, and I hope you enjoyed. So now you can watch the flip through. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I really appreciate you for supporting me by watching me create these bullet journal spreads. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you another time. Bye.